Here we are live. Yes, we're live. Fantasy week 3, right? Golly, this is crazy. So we're going into week 4. Yes, week 3 is already gone. I can't believe it's already passed. Went by pretty quick. At least it did for me. Let's recap last week, huh? Yeah, we might as well, huh? So let me go to oh yeah, I forgot about screen sharing. Let's look at last week's schedule and some of the results there. Just looking on screen here, you won't be able to see it, but they will be able to see it. So the Dolphins pretty handily beat the Jaguars, huh? Kind of crazy. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you mean it hadn't started yet? He says it hadn't. He said Tom's telling him it hadn't started on the Zoom. I don't know how else to tell him. I mean, you guys got in just fine, so. That's weird. Let's see. Send another email. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so yeah, then we got Pittsburgh, who beat Houston pretty handedly, right? Beat them by a touchdown. Cleveland over Washington. That wasn't no big surprise, right? 49ers, Giants, no big surprise. Really beat them bad. Yeah, but I mean 34-20 though. 34-20. I mean, yeah. 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 Yeah, it's that's kind of crazy, but how about San Fran over the Giants pretty handedly, right? With all the injuries. Yeah, with all the injuries, you can't believe that they would even be. I know. I know. It's kind of crazy. What about Buffalo and LA? That was a heck of a game, right? 35-32. I know. Crazy, isn't it? Seth says, can we ask questions? Absolutely. Absolutely. We are recapping. We are recapping last week. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is good, but he didn't even play last week, or he got injured in the first quarter or something like that.
Gotcha.
Freaking, I don't even. Their running backs like Singletary and whoever else is like splitting time.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I would. You're in.
Hey, Scooter.
Hey.
There's Tommy. He's
Hey, guys.
too.
And then I would say the Bills' defense is carrying them because the Bills' defense is good. But then I think they won 34-30 or whatever it was. I can't see exactly what it is on there.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. 35-32. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's not even a defensive win. So Josh Allen is just balling out with above average players.
I
Like
know,
props to him.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it? And then Chicago beating Atlanta. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's just
Oh my God.
that's just nuts.
We just invent
Giannis.
new ways to lose, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, a little spoiler, but the Falcons are on my biggest letdown this week.
Yeah.
And it's not even for just this week's performance. It's for all three so far.
I know.
Spoiler.
I know.
Yeah.
How about the Eagles though? They did end up getting a
Oh
tie.
my gosh. A tie.
They got
I
a
hate-
tie with Cincinnati.
How do you do that?
Every 4 or 5 years they do that. They do a tie
Mhm.
with
You
Pittsburgh.
remember when Donovan McNabb didn't know the rules?
Yeah,
He said, "Oh, I thought it was going to be another overtime." Like, oh
Yeah.
God.
yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I didn't know it at the time, but I also don't play
Yeah, I know.
professionally
I didn't
in the
know it.
league.
I
so
thought
I feel
for
like
sure.
you should know.
I thought
Didn't
for
one of the teams
sure.
punt at the end of overtime? Somebody punted and
Yeah.
like forfeited. It's like we'll take the tie. We just don't want to lose.
I thought it went to two.
There you
two or
go.
three
Just shoot
overtimes.
for all ties all year. Be like, we went undefeated.
Yeah,
We didn't lose to anybody.
that's right. It's funny. Then Tennessee beat Minnesota by 1.
Yep.
New England.
I'm
beat
surprised that
those-
was close.
I
but-
know, and the New England beat the Raiders. How about that?
Handedly.
Kind of crazy, especially after
Yep.
Raiders' performance last week.
Yeah, I can't figure out the Raiders, honestly. Or the Patriots, maybe. Maybe they're, I don't know. And then Josh Jacobs, what a down game. I mean, I know that's what Belichick does best is take out your best player,
Yeah,
but
usually that's what it is.
God.
Took out Waller and Jacobs.
It's true.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I guess sometimes that goes hand in hand. If you don't have a running game, your tight ends aren't much of a – I feel like if you're running the ball really well, then a lot of those play actions, those tight ends can make plays. But you wouldn't think they'd be able to completely shut down both of them. That's kind of crazy.
It's true. Colts handedly beat the Jets. We all read that and knew that. I think everybody had that pick last week. That's interesting.
What a surprise.
How about
Wow.
those Panthers though beating the Chargers?
Yeah.
That's what I don't get. The Chargers are the ones that just had a 1 point or whatever it was, a walk, like Chiefs had to walk off with a 50-yard field goal.
Yeah, that was a
Win.
23-20 in overtime game last week.
Yeah. And then they go and lose to the Panthers, like who don't even have a starter anywhere on the starting lineup. Like,
And actually, they had the Chiefs game won, I think, didn't they? Weren't they up like a lot of points, or is that a different game I'm thinking?
I think they were up at the end, but I mean, not that I'm surprised Mahomes came in. I think he drove down to tie it up.
I got you. And what about Tampa Bay beating Broncos? Everybody kind of knew that, huh?
Yep.
Kind of saw
Yeah,
that.
that was yeah.
Seahawks, Dallas Cowboys. Wow. 38-31.
Yeah.
Made it a game, though. I mean, Dallas did for a while.
Yeah, Seahawks are freaking good.
They are.
I don't know if I made that mark my words in the first couple of weeks, but I think that's my pick to like. I might have said that I think Russell Wilson's the favorite for MVP or something along those
I
lines,
got
but
you. I got you.
they're just nuts.
I
Like
know.
Yeah.
he's throwing like 5 touchdowns a game.
I
I don't even get it.
Yeah.
And he has to. That's what's weird. Because every game he's playing, it's like everybody's close
I
to him.
know.
You know, that's what's weird. Packers, New Orleans.
Yeah, they don't
Packers-
have the same. They
What's
don't
that?
have the same DBs. as they
Defense.
used to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You still think they'd be a little better than letting up 40 points every game, but
That's crazy. So Packers over the Saints. Saints another
Oh, yeah.
disappointing 37-30. That's kind of crazy.
yeah. I mean, Kamara balled out,
Surprise.
or Kamara, whatever you call it, but to be honest, I'm not surprised.
I heard he had over 40% of the offensive yardage.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a lot for.
I think I read or I saw something that freaking just speaking of percentage of the yardage, Deshaun Watson, and I think it was maybe it was this past week or the week before, had like 93% of the team's offense. And I know that's easier from quarterback, but
Right.
still, that 93% of it, that means the running
That means-
backs aren't doing anything. Yeah. That poor fella.
Kansas City over Baltimore. Was anybody surprised in that one?
I'm not necessarily surprised at the result on my end,
Yeah.
but was surprised of the game. Like a straight blowout. Lamar only threw for 97 yards.
I know.
Right. Yeah.
Like the
My-
Chiefs don't have a good defense. Like that, I don't know. That was a huge letdown. Lamar's my biggest freaking letdown of this week.
I wasn't disappointed, but I was surprised
Yeah.
how poorly that Ravens on offense played. I wasn't disappointed at all being AFC North, but that was Willer again, biggest team let down. They didn't really let me down, but it was the most surprising to me.
I got you.
How bad they were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go straight to that biggest team letdown that you thought was going to do good, and that would be Baltimore. I think that's a lot of people's outlook on that one.
Me too.
Honestly, I already mentioned the Falcons just because 3 weeks in a row they've done this, and that's horrible. But what about the Cardinals? That was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lost to someone like not even
Detroit.
good. Yeah,
Detroit.
Detroit.
Beat them 26-23.
And they were looking like a promising like contender for the West. And not to say they aren't just because of one game, but man, that's
No.
sad to see.
They didn't get the crap beat out of them, though.
No, I think they lost by one, but Detroit sucks.
3 points.
Yeah, true.
Lost by
They don't have any good players anywhere on that team.
Yeah.
Stafford, Galladay.
I guess, yeah. I mean, Stafford, I guess, is good. Maybe he's just, yeah, I'll give Stafford. And Galladay's solid, but still. And actually, I think DeAndre Swift will be good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't picture them beating the Cardinals.
Barry Sanders retired, and
Yeah.
So I guess biggest team surprise for you would be Detroit then, huh?
I honestly, I don't even want to say that they were a surprise. I'm just more let down by the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I'm not even like impressed with the Lions. I just think the Cardinals went out there and laid a freaking dud.
I think to me, and I know they're my team, but I think the Panthers this week are the biggest team surprise for me. I really,
that was a nice win.
I know, and I really thought that the Chargers would just win that game.
I had that down as my biggest team surprise, actually.
Me too.
I
That's
had
what
I had them and the Browns as like a kind of a question mark, just because they were a surprise. But I guess what I was most surprised is that how handily they won their games. Because even the Panthers, like, didn't they win by a couple scores, 10 points or so?
Who the
Yeah.
Panthers won.
Yeah.
21-16.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's closer than that. I mean, it's 5 points. So
Yeah. Well, I guess it's still you have to score twice. to
and
get them, but-
Cleveland was 14.
Yeah, and then the Dolphins, I mean, whooped out. I mean, I know it was only Jacksonville, but I think those three teams surprised me with just how well they played. Like, not that they stole a win, because I don't think Jacksonville was very good, but the fact that the Dolphins, like, whooped them was
Yeah.
pretty surprising with those
That
three.
was the biggest surprise for me.
That's Fitzmagic, though.
That's true. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balls out 5 games out of the year.
Yeah.
The other, whatever, left that 14 or whatever. How many left?
He
after
made
that?
my mark my words this week.
Oh, did he? What was the mark your words or mark my words?
My mark my words for this week is that Fitzpatrick is a top 5 QB this week.
What?
Wow.
Ooh.
Look at they play.
And that's because they play the Seahawks.
They're going to be throwing it. They're going to be. I guess I should say fantasy. I shouldn't say NFL. That would be fantasy.
That would be fantasy. Yeah, that's true.
He's going to be hurling it.
He will.
Yeah, that's true.
You can pass on Seattle. And
Yeah.
it's hard to run, so the ball's going to be in the air.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I mean, yeah, it could be a shootout. Clearly, Seattle can't really. I mean, I think Seattle's had pretty tough games though in their defense, like or tough opponents. I
True.
mean, because Dallas isn't horrible. The Patriots are obviously good, and I don't remember who the Seahawks played week 1, but
The Seahawks played the Falcons. All you had to do is just throw it.
well, that's. I mean, honestly, the Falcons. The one thing you can say about them is they have an awesome offense. Well,
30,
the offense. in the first half, they have an awesome offense.
We'll win the first half every game.
Yeah, yeah. Just end it there.
It's like,
Yeah.
all right, guys, we're done.
That's the way they play.
We skunked you.
Yeah.
28-0. We're out of here.
So true.
All right, so mark my words then for everybody. What do you got this week for mark my words? Mark, what do you got for mark my words this week? What do you think?
I mark my words.
Oh, let's see here.
Hmm.
Philadelphia won't tie.
Philadelphia won't tie.
Um,
How
I
about
don't know. I don't know if
But
I'd bet
Cincinnati will.
I'm going to go against. I'm going to say that the Raiders come back and have a good game, and that's not because they're my team. I think that they're going to learn from their mistakes, what they did, and I mean, they don't have any wide receivers.
when
but,
you say good game, you don't mean win though, right? You just
I mean
you
win.
good. Oh, you mean
mean
win
Oh.
against Buffalo
that's what
Bills this week, huh?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. The Bills suck. I'll ride that one with you for another week.
Oh my
Those-
God.
I definitely is. They're definitely surprised, but they're favored to beat the Raiders,
I know.
and they probably will. But I think the Raiders, but the problem is here's the problem with the Raiders that nobody really talks about too much is they don't have any wide receivers. They don't have any. I mean, we've got a bunch of fantastic guys that when you look at the percentages of ball distribution,
Mhm.
okay, tight ends, running backs, wide receivers, they're equal. It's not supposed to be like that. You got wide receivers for a reason, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
If Darren Waller, take out the tight end or whatever because he was neutralized. So thank you, Belichick. He exposed everybody how to beat the Raiders. But
But I think if they could figure out how to make Ruggs work, because I think Ruggs is one of the most talented.
he's totally.
Yeah.
Ruggs is out.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh, I
he's-
didn't know he went out.
Yeah,
Jesus.
he's not practicing, so I don't know.
What a yeah, that doesn't mean anything this year though.
True. No one's practicing.
Yeah, I mean,
The other guy, the other first rounder, is out.
Edward.
Yeah, Brian Edwards. Yeah, he's out. So I love
Which I mean, I was about to say, I got Hunter Renfro,
Hunter Renfrow. Yes,
Clemson's hero. Don't talk bad about him.
Let's talk about some receivers in the NFL.
I love the guy. No,
There's only like 3. They suck.
think about this. It's not working.
Yeah.
If all three, if you throw under your running back, it's just not. It's not
Yeah.
going to work. It's not going
And
to
as
work.
much as Hunter Renfro is a solid receiver, you never want that to be your number one option.
No.
You have a bad receiving core. Hunter Renfro's your number one option.
yeah.
We'll see.
See that picture of this was last year, but they had a side-by-side picture of Hunter Renfro and DK Metcalf.
Mhm.
No, it wasn't Metcalf. It was Odell Beckham.
Oh, yeah.
And it said which one of these receivers leads in
Yeah.
reception touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, great player though.
Yeah.
He's on my team.
No, I hear you.
But a quick sidetrack to Live HD's question. He said, is Devontae Parker a good start this week? I think to Tom's point about picking Fitzpatrick, if Fitzpatrick's going to ball out like that, then I think Devontae Parker is going to be part of that. So,
You can
Yeah.
pass on the Seahawks. I would feel real confident starting.
He's
Harper.
going to have to,
Yeah.
right?
and I think, we picked Devontae Parker a lot last week in a lot of these little scenarios we got in here. He only got like 11, but I still think that's a solid. Like, I'll take that from a wide receiver with no touchdown, 5 for 65 or whatever it was. So I'm definitely starting him this week.
What about like Seth's comment? It says it's crazy how the Seahawks had the best D a long time ago, and now their D sucks.
I know. But I mean, sometimes that can happen with like when they lost Cam Chancellor is when it all kind of started falling apart. Like sometimes there's like those 1 or 2 guys, like, yes, all the DBs were good back then, but sometimes when you just lose that glue piece, it kind of all just starts to fall apart.
Well, Tom, you could say that about Pittsburgh there for a while. Pittsburgh had the best defense, I swear, forever, and then all of a sudden they
It
went
doesn't
down.
take them long to get it back, though.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Oh.
you definitely had a couple years there though that
Yeah, we miss Polamalu.
Yeah,
We miss James Harris.
I miss like
Yeah.
Chicago. Chicago used to have all the time, and now they don't anymore like they did. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I think it's so hard to have those good defenses like that nowadays, though.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know how you beat Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, or Patrick Mahomes. He supposedly hates Pat Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I just, like, with you, quote unquote, like the Ravens. Every other game this year, the Ravens' defenses look stout. I mean, maybe not as good as those defenses we were just talking about.
Yeah.
But still, like, Mahomes
Just-
goes and does whatever he wants against them.
Yeah, that's true.
Rolled over the Raven.
For sure. So what do you think about most improved player over last week? You guys have any insight on that? What you think, who you think was the most improved? This just in looking from week to week, I would say. Not just most improved, but I mean most improved.
The only well, a couple come to mind for me. I don't know if it's improved because he wasn't really playing before, but I did think Herbert balled out. Granted, it was against the Panthers when they were losing, so that always will help your stats a little bit.
Chargers. Yeah.
But then Justin Jefferson from Minnesota,
Yeah.
I think really he caught my eye when I was watching some of those highlights. So
That was my guy
I was
too.
impressed.
Yeah, he did not look like. Well, in weeks 1 and 2, they didn't use him, and then finally they decided to target him, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh wow, I know
Yeah.
why we drafted him so high."
Yeah.
So how many of those players are showing up this week from that national championship last? Higgins showed up too.
Yeah, Higgins. That's an interesting one as well. I mean, hell, if Burrow is going to be throwing the ball 40 times a game, it's got to go to someone. I mean, I know Tyler Boyd's going to get his, and AJ Green's still getting a decent amount of targets. But I mean, I always thought T. Higgins was really good in Clemson. I thought he was always a little even underrated there. So
Yeah, he's no Hunter Renfro.
no, he's just not the athlete that Hunter is.
Mark, they're picking on your guy, dude.
Yeah.
But I also had I don't know if most improved is kind of being a surprise player. I don't know if that's the same thing, kind of. But I was very happy with the way Lazard played for the Packers, because he was the one that I knew that was going to get the volume of looks with Devontae out. But typically, like in years past, when Devontae's out, like Rodgers just can't find anybody. Like no one. Like yeah, Scantling will get open downfield every now and again, but he has to throw to Aaron Jones like all game. But I thought Lazard.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm
true.
fine with that.
but it really felt like the Saints. That's who they tried to bottle up was Aaron Jones. I mean, not even that they did a great job, but I think they did better than other teams. But Lazard, like, I mean, I know he's like a late round draft pick type player, so like he tries harder than other people. But
I saw you
I mean,
picked
he was.
him up.
Yeah, I picked him up in both leagues. I just knew, like, because someone had to get the target. Once I found out Devontae was out, but like Scantling or Valdez, whatever, I can't remember his name right. He's not like your high target guy. Like he's going to take a shot 3 times a game and try to get a 50-yard touchdown to Scantling. So I went with Lazard. But I was still a little worried because, like I said, in the past, when we don't have Devontae, it just is a sloppy game and Rodgers never finds a rhythm.
Yeah.
And I thought Lazard balled. I mean, he was blocking well, too. Like, I mean, that's just – I don't know. I thought it was a pretty incredible game from him.
Rodgers did struggle last year without Adams. Like he struggled.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't find anybody.
And in his defense, like, no one was stepping up. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we had Jimmy Graham last year. I know he's kind of old and washed up and all that, but, like, you would think he'd be able to get 3 more catches when Devontae Adams is out, but he never did. Like, he just –
Jimmy Grandpa.
yeah. Although he balled out last week. Wasn't it last week? He caught 2 touchdowns for the
Yeah.
Bears.
I think he did, yeah. Well,
Hey,
the
might as well
Bears,
go pick him up in fantasy, maybe, because I don't know how many Foles threw to him, but Foles is the starter now.
I know.
Yeah. there's a story there.
It is.
And
He
Foles
might-
always loved those tight ends. I mean, Ertz in Philly. So maybe he's a tight end guy. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, the targets that Alvin Kamara's getting, I think he has 31 targets in 3 games. That's crazy. That's more than some receivers. I mean, he's like top
Yeah,
5.
40% of the
It's like
yardage.
top 5 in targets. I mean, that's crazy. And then
Yeah.
Waller, same thing. He's 28 targets. That's
But you know,
crazy.
It's funny, we were just talking about Breeze, like maybe he's getting old, he can't throw the ball downfield, and he's like, yeah, I don't need to. Watch.
Yeah.
I'll throw it to the backfield. Here.
That's so true.
Kamara, go get my stats.
Yeah. Breeze is like, yeah, I threw for 450. Like, did you? Did you throw for that much, or did he run for that much?
What do you guys think? Rex Burkhead? He just ran all over the Raiders.
You know, I don't
Well-
even know what to think about that. That seems like one of those like anomaly weeks to me, where like I would not pick him up in fantasy.
I don't
I
even know
think
that.
that's
I never
James
heard.
White thing. Because
What'd you say,
James
Tom?
White hadn't played the last 2 weeks, so that's what I think it is.
Uh,
He's taking the James White role, so that would have been his game. Isn't that his name, James White, the
Yeah.
receiving?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what an incredible week for him because, yeah, I mean, what he scored, I think 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. But, honestly, you could absolutely give him the biggest surprise player because I don't think anybody would have predicted that he scored over 10 fantasy points this week. So.
I doubt he was in anybody's lineup. He
No.
might have been a few, but
Percent
not.
roster was probably like 0.01, and that person had
Yeah.
like a keeper league from 3 years ago that they haven't checked.
I don't know. With all the injuries and everybody's out of running backs, who knows?
That's
Who kno-
true.
who
Those guys
knows
that came in last week talking about they have like a 15-man roster
Yeah,
or whatever, or
yeah,
flex
who knows?
11 is like, all right, I'd be playing Rex Burkhead, I guess.
No.
Probably every running back that's rostered in the NFL is just on someone's team in that league.
Yeah.
Speaking of covering injuries and buys, if Pittsburgh and Tennessee don't play this week, there's half my freaking team.
True.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
got Tennessee. I'm invested heavily in Tennessee
Yeah.
and Pittsburgh. So,
Wow.
That's
do I play this week, Scooter? There you go.
I think they'll play. I think that we're getting a lot of false positives. That's already happened with some teams in the
Baseball
And-
went through that with their initial rounds of testing. A lot of false positives came back.
yeah.
But I do
They
think
still got to do the thing.
they're planning on just playing the game.
They'll play
Monday.
Monday night, maybe, or Tuesday night. So
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I think they're still going to play.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I think that's fine. The one thing though, I will say though,
But it is alarming. I mean, that many positive tests.
Derrick Henry, 82 attempted rushes. That's nuts. The next closest person is Josh Jacobs with 68. That is, and then Ezekiel
Because
before
they
that
have a
was
smart coach.
Ezekiel before that was 58. I mean, that's just crazy. 82 attempted rushes. That's so
But you know-
far above.
It's funny that it's those three because if you look at those three, that's probably like 3 of the only running backs that could handle that workload.
Giant
Look
man.
Like if McCaffrey had 82 or whatever carries through the week before, it'd be like, is he dead? Like, there's no way he just ran the ball that many times and is not hurt.
That's true.
He had that many touches.
Yeah, exactly. But it's getting him out in space on a one-on-one where he can end up running out of bounds. Derrick Henry is doing halfback dives for 50% of the
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
God, did you see that touchdown?
Right.
That was nuts.
He's got 3 foot of air there.
Mhm.
Yes. I was trying to think of which
Amazing.
touchdown. Yeah,
That is a big, strong man.
that's a
It
freak.
is amazing.
It's because when he gets going too, it's
Yes.
not slow.
It's not slow.
No.
No, it has surprised me kind of on attempts, attempted pass. I know Dak Prescott doesn't surprise me that he's leading with 143, but I thought it would have been Matt Ryan. I thought Matt Ryan would have a lot more attempts than Dak. And then Wentz has 132. He's number 3. And then of course Joe Burrow because he's just running for his life and throwing everybody.
But honestly, even if you think about those 3 quarterbacks that are top 3, they're
Yeah.
getting killed at the beginning of every game.
It's true.
Like that's when
Carson
Matt Ryan, he does come out, but he's like efficient. It's not like he's throwing 11 passes on those drives.
No,
He's
that's a good
throwing like
point.
5, and then he's up 28-0, and then the Falcons' problem is they stop playing football. They
Yeah.
start handing the ball off, milking the clock. Matt
Yeah.
Ryan starts playing bad. But like Dak is like, oh man, we're
Yeah.
down 30-0. All right,
Yeah.
Yeah,
here we go. Here's my 70 passing down.
yeah. None of
Dak
none
last
of
year,
those. None of those
all-
are in the
all-
top 10.
They're very front loaded. Very front loaded.
Yeah,
Dak, the Cowboys want to be a running team. That's but then they
Yeah.
get behind. That was all last year. That's
Yeah.
where all Dak's fantasy points came from, was in the second half.
None of those three are in the top completion percentage.
no.
Yeah.
Wow.
If they were, they'd be scoring at the beginning of the
I
game.
know
Yeah.
none of them
Right.
are in the top.
They
10.
start 0 for 17. It's like, all right, joke's over.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
turn it on a little bit.
Actually,
Hey, Michael, how do you get the comments from the? Is there something you can hit?
just
Get
go
in the
to,
comments.
just go to YouTube. There aren't any. Nobody's leaving anything. You guys, if you want to
Oh,
leave
okay.
if you want to leave your stuff, leave your comments there. You can go to the YouTube channel. I'll give you that, Tom, if you want. Give you the link to the YouTube channel. You can
Oh,
go-
they were popping up last week. So
No, I know. That's because That's because
you switched it.
I switched it to Zoom instead of StreamYard.
Oh, I, didn't see,
I
I
might go
never
back.
saw him on StreamYard last year or last week.
I might go back.
I was getting them all off of YouTube last week. I was like, oh, he was saying that earlier. I was like, I don't even know.
The highest completion percentage in 3 games, though, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, to his running
I'm
back.
not surprised.
Because he throws it 5 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Russell Wilson
He's a
has
screen
14,
passer.
but Russell Wilson has 14 touchdowns and also has a 76% completion.
He throws a little farther.
That's nuts. And he chucks the ball sometimes.
Yeah, he throws the ball.
I'm telling you, Russell Wilson, that's my favorite for MVP right now. I mean, it was when I said it week 1. Like, that dude is just,
I know.
I don't know that he's Mahomes, but he's like he's just a different
Well,
greatness.
it's just his brain just says, I'm going to win this game,
Yeah.
no matter what it
Yeah.
takes. And you just can't turn it off. It's amazing.
I'm with you. And it's
Yeah.
like the bar is not even in the question anymore. Like, Lamar, the Baltimore guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
I'll
great.
be honest.
Lamar
You
Jackson.
can't go and throw for 97 yards in any game and be on my radar. That is,
So
Yeah.
if the Chiefs would have held him to like 170 and he had 1 pick, blah, 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 I'd have been like, it was a rough game. If you can't
Yeah.
throw for 100 yards in an NFL game, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it.
Against a mediocre defense, too.
yeah,
No, the ones that like always get into shootouts, because like Mahomes has to get into shootouts.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Mahomes is like, here, take 14 points. I'll catch up.
Yeah.
You'd rather catch up, right? You're
It
like,
was crazy because it felt like a blowout game, and I know Mahomes was the one scoring it, but the fact that he scored like 83 points for me in fantasy, and I know our league scores a little different than most people's with quarterbacks, but still, that was nuts because typically you don't want your quarterback to get out to a big lead because then they start running the ball more, but I guess the Chiefs are just like, no, we'll just keep throwing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's
Yeah. You blew all the projections and beat me, Peter.
So
I did.
anybody that's out there, if you guys want to ask your questions now. That's fine. But here's something that's really interesting to me. Eric Eckler and also Chris Carson, both of them, 100% of their catches. They've been targeted Okay, so Eckler was targeted 16 times, caught 16 times. Carson was
Eric,
targeted.
is that Austin's brother?
Austin, excuse me. Yeah, Eckler, Eric Eckler, whatever. Chris Carson targeted 12 times, caught all 12. That's just crazy, isn't it?
it's great.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, running back targets are a little easier.
I guess
I
so.
think that's even more impressive for Eckler, right?
Probably.
Because
That's
he
the
had
Chargers. It's not a great quarterback, or we don't know yet. It was Tyrod to start the year. I
True.
guess he does have Keenan, because I was thinking Chris Carson gets the benefit of a lot of check downs, where like Wilson goes from Lockett to Metcalf or probably opposite, or Metcalf to Lockett to Moore. I think it's his name.
Yeah, so
More-
it's his 5th read or something.
Yeah, and then it's like, nobody's open. I'll just check down. I'll throw it 2 yards. But Eckler is like part of that offense in the sense of passing. So that's kind of crazy to think that every single one of their plays has worked. And maybe he's checked down. I'm gonna be honest, I have not watched the Chargers.
So they line him up as a receiver. Eckler.
Yeah, see, and that's what I mean. I don't know. That's just crazy to me to think that you got to think one of those plays isn't going to work for at least for a catch or a successful
Something, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome for both of them because Chris Carson. I'm not saying he doesn't ever have a tough catch. I picture him getting a lot of checkdowns, but
very good stuff. Oh yeah. So you guys, anybody that's out there, Seth, Live HD, if you guys want to ask some more questions about your team this week or anything, feel free to ask us. We'll keep chatting on about some stuff. So
going back to Lamar, an impressive stat that I heard is that he's like 0 for 6 in comeback games.
Oh yeah.
He just can't do it. So
no. He's
got to play in the lead.
And to that point, I think he has the highest QBR when he is ahead and the lowest QBR when he's behind.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't know that.
I mean, to be honest, and it's almost like no knock on him in the sense of his play style is just very it's not stand in the pocket and pass. And when you're losing, you don't want to run for 6 yards each play. You don't want busted plays that might work and might not. You really want to sit in the pocket and, move down the field. So
you can see him get visibly flustered, though. I mean, you can tell that it gets in his head.
Yeah.
Unlike some quarterbacks that just stay like Matthew Stafford, for example, stays the same demeanor and just starts chucking it, and it works for him, and he comes back in games.
But I wonder if that's a confidence thing. I mean, I know Lamar is confident, knows he's a good player, blah, blah, blah. But then again, Stafford knows he can throw the ball 60 yards on a laser.
Yeah.
Where Lamar has to know he can't. Even the touchdown pass Lamar threw to the tight end. To be honest, if the DB for whatever reason he kind of just lost his balance, but it wasn't a good throw. He threw it to the DB, and the DB started losing his balance, so he was falling down, and the tight end reached over him and grabbed it. Yeah. But if the DB didn't lose his balance, that's a pick in the end zone. I don't know. Lamar is so good because when you're ahead,
if he would have hit Hollywood on that one long play, and if he would have hit Andrews, actually had a drop. But if those two, it'd have been a different game.
But honestly, I thought those drops by Andrews could have been slightly better throws. I know that's nitpicking, but we're also talking about NFL quarterbacks when you're watching Mahomes on the other end make all those perfect throws that he needs to make. So I don't know. I mean, because it's kind of crazy to think and I don't want to take anything away from Lamar because he did great. He deserved that MVP. But if he wasn't on the arguably best team in the league last year, I don't think he's anywhere close to an MVP caliber quarterback. I think if he's on the freaking, Falcons right now, Lamar Jackson is fighting for a starting job because he's having to keep them in a game by scoring 35 points. And I just don't think he's capable of it.
One thing I can tell you is, so let's just analyze turnovers because if you look at the teams, and I'm just throwing quarterbacks under the bus right here. Kirk Cousins has 6. Carson Wentz has 6. Kyler Murray has 5. Sam Arnold has 4. Daniel Jones has 4. That's interceptions. And there's a lot with.
And they're all kind of on them too.
I know. I mean, so those games, if they don't have those interceptions, I mean, those games I think could be turned into something different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot with, there's quite a few with 3. You got Gardner Minshew, Brady, Trubinsky. Well, he's not playing anymore. Deshaun Watson, Fitzsimmons, Haskins, Rivers. Yeah, those all have 3. But those interceptions, I think those are key things when it comes to, because they were in a couple of those games that I'm talking about, or those quarterbacks, they were in close games. They could have actually won or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It all comes back to that turnover thing. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, turnovers. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, each one depends on where it was. That's what I've always said about Roethlisberger is that I swear when he throws picks, it's when he's throwing it 70 yards down the field. And it's a jump ball, and then they intercept it, which really, at the end of the day, that was just a punt.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge deal. But those guys that make those mistakes when they're throwing to an out route, where the guy gets it and he's able to take it for 40 yards.
Like that one Brady threw. That one that Brady threw was
Yeah.
a pick six. I mean,
right.
who
He's
was it that
throwing
had,
to, like,
who was it that had the 2 pick sixes in the same game? That was awful. Who was that? Was it the
same
Jets?
player or the same team?
No, same team. I think it was the Jets
Oh.
or something at pick six or Philadelphia. Or
Sounds like something they would do.
or Philadelphia did. I can't remember somebody, but it was.
Yeah,
just
it might have been
crazy.
Wentz the way he's playing.
I
Yeah.
think it was. It's crazy.
Or Darnold. Darnold's not scared of that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, Mark, though, with your boy. 0 picks this year so far. Knock on wood with Carr.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, if he's not throwing to the wide receivers, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he's throwing to the running backs and the tight ends. Not that you can't throw a pick throwing to tight ends, but
Yeah.
usually that's only 7-8 yards
Yeah,
downfield.
or usually that's the one that gets tipped up by somebody, and then
Yeah.
the defensive back comes up.
Yeah, and normally you're not making a pick over or around a tight end because even Waller, who's athletic, he's still. I mean, that's a big guy. So
he is a big guy.
some of those little wide receivers, I feel like you can just like sneak around and intercept it, but
That's
still impressive to throw none. But
When Derek Carr makes a mistake, he makes the ugliest mistake. It's like that fumble at the end of the game. You know, he was about to take a safety, and instead of taking the safety or what, if he didn't intend for this, he fumbles the ball and they get a touchdown. He makes the ugliest mistake. So, but yeah, his quarterback rating is good.
Yeah,
And-
it is.
but- Beat offensive line. But so yeah, he's doing okay, and he's okay.
I'm surprised. Aaron Rodgers and both Patrick Mahomes both have 0 interceptions. Do you think
Yeah.
that's? What do you think of that? I mean, I thought that was kind of crazy because as much as Mahomes throws,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought
I
for
think
sure.
it's because they're good quarterbacks.
Really,
Well, yeah.
they just
Well,
throw
and
it away.
I mean,
And they're
and
not
the
putting
receiving
in
core
situations-
though. You got to look at the receiving core
You
too.
do, and they're not really put into situations a lot where they have to force throws, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers didn't do so great last year with
Right.
interceptions because he was put in a lot more situations where you
gotcha.
had to force it.
I got you.
Sure.
That makes sense. Then. That makes sense.
Sure.
Good point. Old Russell Wilson, 14 TD passes. That's nuts.
Yep.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's
14
crazy.
in 3 games. So he's on pace to throw how many?
Quite a few.
Do the math, I guess.
So, so what? That'd be 12.
Like when you watch,
14 divided by 3 times 16.
Yeah.
Wait, so 40.
Yeah.
did we do the mark my words for this coming week yet?
We hit some.
Let's do that. Let's do mark my words for this week, huh? Mark my words moment for next week. What do you think? Mark
For
my-
next week.
What do you think?
Oh,
I gave you mine already.
Yes,
yeah,
you
sure.
did.
You gave it about Fitzmagic.
Fitzpatrick is a top 5 fantasy QB this week.
possible.
mm,
Well, I did. I'm going to ride the Packers stay undefeated until I can't anymore. So they're going to do that on Monday night against the sorry little Falcons.
yeah.
I think the Falcons
We
win
have
the
a
first- mark
chance.
my word.
Oh, yeah. They're up the first half for sure.
Oh yeah, we'll be in the first half.
Yeah. And then they're going to pack
And,
it up. They're
yeah.
going to head home, and then we're going to score in the second half.
That's a better mark my words. Mark my words that they overcome a 28-point deficit.
That's
to win the game.
Well, if you're going to go with your home team, I'm going with my home team. I'm going to say that the Panthers are going to beat Arizona
Oh my gosh.
They're at
That's a big one.
Panthers, and that is a big one. I think they can do it. And I know Mark already did his. He's taking his team. We're all taking our favorite team this week, which is kind of crazy. Mark's taking those Las Vegas Raiders against the Buffalo Bills. I'm taking Carolina against Arizona, and Steven's taking the Packers against Atlanta. And that's easy to do because Atlanta likes to give it to you.
So what about it, Scooter? Are you taking your team?
Yeah, take
Yeah,
your
are
team,
ya?
Scoot.
Actually, I've done it the first 3 weeks, and I've lost. Give it to.
You're over 3. Huh?
I'm over 3 on picking. So I want to be a homer, but
I will definitely take
Rodgers.
my team over.
Aaron Rodgers on fire right now,
True.
and
Yeah, that is true.
but I will take the Panthers over Arizona.
Nice. I like that.
I will
Yeah.
take Pittsburgh on a Tuesday
Mark
night.
my words on that.
On
Mark
a
your
Tuesday
words.
night.
All right.
All right,
Best Tuesday night football game in the history of the NFL.
facts.
Be Pittsburgh over the Titans, huh?
I will mix it up from just saying the Packers are going to win every week. I'm going to say that the Broncos, Bengals, and Texans get their first win. So
Yeah.
all 3. I'm
Yeah.
parlaying it.
Broncos,
Wow.
Can't
Yeah,
just get
get
2
that.
of them. I got to get all 3.
Texas, yeah.
Texans, who do they play?
And then does that
They play
make
the
Minnesota
Vikings.
Vikings.
Yep, they could do that easily.
They're at home against and the
does
Broncos.
that make Atlanta the only 0-4 team?
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
Oh, Deshaun be a good
Yeah.
start this week,
That's
wouldn't
his
he?
Packers.
Maybe
Damn.
y'all can tank for Trevor.
Yeah, tank
We're
for
going to
Trevor.
tank for Trevor.
Yeah, well, you're going that way, so anyway, not out of choice, but I mean, I think that's just the way it is. I mean,
It's gonna.
whatever.
We're gonna have T-shirts. They'll say T4T.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God,
I like it.
T for T, T for 2.
Oh my God! I lost last week in Survivor as well. Oh, I'm about out of this shit.
I know.
I didn't get into Survivor in time. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I picked the freaking Chargers to beat the Panthers. What a crazy, stupid pick of me to do.
What were you thinking there?
That was silly.
Yeah, I had Arizona. I had the Arizona game and lost it. I
Oh,
thought, what?
yeah.
What?
All right. I'm going to pick well, no, I can't bet for my life on the Broncos. So let's Seahawks over Dolphins. Easy. All right. I just forgot as we were going through this. I hadn't done mine yet. I know I forget tomorrow.
I see. We had,
I think I got Seahawks too.
yeah.
Oh, and a couple surprise players that I saw that I thought was the freaking Panthers linebacker, Shaq Thompson, dropped 30. I think he had 8 solo tackles. And then there was 2 safeties. I think it was Tracy Walker and Jordan Poyer. They each had 10 solo tackles. And then the corner for the Seahawks, he had 10. Griffin, he had freaking 10 solo tackles. I was trying to see who popped
Monster.
up on defense.
Oh, that was after Jamal went out, so that might have been that. 'Cause I
That's
was
true.
watching them. I was watching the DBs on that game, and Jamal went out, and that little dude was everywhere. I mean, he
Yeah.
was running off the place. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
And
pretty
then-
insane defensive.
Yeah, he wreaked havoc with the Atlanta home opener. When we played the Seahawks for the home opener,
Yeah.
he was flying all over the field. It was Adams.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jamal Adams.
Yeah, Jamal
Oh,
Adams.
yeah, Adams.
Freaking havoc.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Actually,
Yeah.
Aldon Smith.
He's a rookie, isn't he? And he's a rookie this year.
No, Jamal
No.
Adams. He just got traded to
He
him.
got
though.
traded to the Rams. I mean, from the Rams or to
From
the
the
Rams.
Jets.
He was new to the Seahawks, but
Yeah, he was with the Jets.
all
Dude,
right.
He was like a top 5 pick for them, if I remember correctly.
All right.
Yeah.
But, man.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
a baller. Like the Jets
He
just did
killed
that
us.
because they're rebuilding, and I think
Yeah.
he had a terrible relationship with Adam Gase.
We just did not plan
Who
for.
doesn't?
Yeah, that's true.
I heard that Adam Gase, this might be his last game if they don't beat Denver.
I don't think there's any harm in that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, move
Yeah.
on. I mean, interim coach, whatever. It doesn't.
I wonder how many of his players are gonna sit down
Yeah,
so that he gets fired.
that's true.
He's
But
not
I-
a players coach.
I can't believe how Alden Smith is making a bounce back year after all his rehab and all that. He got 3 sacks last week. I mean, he's balling out. That's a top defensive end in our league.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's doing something every week too.
I know, but that's just. I mean, it's awesome to see. I mean, it's just because he would have been a top pick
Kids,
for us.
if you're out there watching, don't do drugs.
True. Or do and bounce back.
This
Really
is how
well.
successful you are.
Oh, shit. Yeah. But yeah, those are defensive players I noticed that kind of popped off last week. Oh, I still got to do all my ad drops this week. Darn. What other? Do we have any other topics to talk about on the show?
Let's see. I told you so from moment from last week. I think we already discussed. Did we? I think we kind of.
Did we go over last week's? How'd we do?
We don't even remember that. Yeah, recap. Last week we did. We did recap. So, you guys, if you guys have any questions out there, ask away. Feel free to ask some questions if you have some question about your team or your players or anything like that. Ask away, dudes.
Well, I was just going to make a comment, Michael, on on the fantasy league side of it, 3-0 for real.
That's true. You're the only 3-0 team.
3-0. That's like
Yeah.
the first time since 1997.
Yeah, nuh-uh. You don't have to be that mean.
No, I'm kidding.
Wait,
No.
wait. Let me make a comment. Highest score by
He's coming to the league
60.
until 2014, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Highest points in the league by 60 points.
Yeah, is that
Ooh,
Scooter?
I think
Yeah.
I think you're like a platinum, Tom, and the
All time, maybe.
Brokey. Going back to 2007, I was looking.
Scooter got some points now. I mean, seriously,
Not bad.
he's as
Yeah, I
long as
looked at Scooter's team. He
I've
could
got
lose
some
that
points.
team and still be that lead. You're deep too. I was like, dang.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Even
I've
your-
been very lucky. No injuries. Like the whole league is like ravaged with injuries.
Yeah,
no
you're
doubt.
all your roster is completely healthy.
I know,
Yeah.
except for like that like a defense, the defensive cornerback I had, but you look at your roster just before kickoff on Sunday. You already got Thursday night football covered, and then you're like going, "Oh, they're out."
Yeah.
So
It's
that's kind of a
frustrating. It's
surprise.
very frustrating. Exactly. I agree. It's hard to keep up with all that and figure it all out too. It's kind of nuts, but
Well, they don't announce until they're out until I think, I don't know. I guess I just got
Sometimes
to
right
be on
before
top.
the game. Yeah.
individual
But yeah.
defensive players, Steven, you were talking about that. I'm glad you brought up a couple stats about it. Definitely some players out there that had strong weeks too. I mean, and that's kind of what you were mentioning, right? The ones that made a difference
Yeah.
this last week.
That's a cornerback, though. A cornerback, there's going to be somebody different up there every week.
Yeah.
It's
You're
the
right.
guy that gets picked on by the best team, right? It's
Yeah.
the guy game planned against. So, and he's not
Yeah.
going to get planned against every week. It depends on the matchup. So,
True.
Mhm.
I was talking about some couple of those safeties popped off too. I said Tracy Walker and Jordan Poyer. which those are relevant names to us as far as fantasy goes. But
Yeah.
they both popped off for like 20+ fantasy points, that's pretty darn good for a safety.
Yeah.
Alden Smith
That's
straight up
strong.
balling.
That's strong.
And then Shaq Thompson dropped 30 fantasy points, so that was impressive.
On
Now,
the-
is he going to do that every week? Because
Is
I'll
that-
go get him.
Is he
I
cornerback?
know.
Is he?
Shaq Thompson's
I look
the
at my
linebacker
bench
for the
and-
Panthers.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking of
My safety last week made 20 points on my bench. It's like, wow.
Shaquille Griffin is who I was thinking of. The cornerback.
Yeah, that's the corner for the Seahawks we were talking about.
Yeah.
That must
30.
have. He didn't replace Jamal Adams because he's a starter,
No.
but I guess he picks up a lot of the slack when
Yeah.
Jamal Adams is out.
Yeah.
And they also use him on corner blitzes and that sort of thing. So
Yeah,
That's
that's,
a-
true.
that's why Mike Hilton is doing so well in the league. The Pittsburgh
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah,
he plays all the short coverage. So he's the one that's going to get
Yeah.
the
Sherry
running back in the
has-
second level and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Sherry has.
Tom, I thought Kamara was gonna give you a miracle win after those receivers
Oh my God.
just bailed. They were like, you know what? First quarter's enough for me.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna head out.
If Mark Ingram did not crap all over himself, I was like, I'm close. I mean, I went in. Yeah. What do you
Wow.
That was nuts.
What would y'all do with him? A little fantasy advice in house.
Shoot, I mean, I think you. I mean, you got to keep him on
Trade
your
him.
roster.
Trade him to me.
Yeah.
Trade him to me.
Because it's
Yeah.
not like he's losing touches to the backup. Because J.K. Dobbins ain't doing shit either.
No, no,
So-
no.
Yeah.
It's just that I guess the Ravens' offense isn't doing much right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I think you stash him. But God, I don't know if I'd be playing him right now.
I
I
know.
just always look at my matchup. I don't really know what to do beyond that. But
I almost wanted to grudge drop him.
Yeah. Oh, then we got some questions popping in.
Yeah, I see
Let's
it
see.
now.
See, what's
Okay,
up
so I have a
there?
problem. I need 3 Carson, Drake, Jay Taylor, Muster, and M. Sanders and Mixon. What?
Is Mustard playing?
I don't think much.
Well, I know Carson's not. If we're talking about Chris Carson,
He's not.
No, Carson's not. I don't think. I think he's out. Drake is.
Kenyon Drake has been he's still their number one, but he's been a bit of a disappointment.
Same
I
as
still
Mixon, both getting the touches.
I still think I would run with Jonathan Taylor until
Yeah, he gets.
He
The
didn't- he
touches,
didn't-
Drake does.
he didn't do well last week, but still he comes out with 12 fantasy points. I definitely like Jay Taylor. I don't think Mostert's playing.
I don't
If
think
he is, and it's going to be like at least 80-85% capacity,
But why not?
then I would say
Sanders?
him. Well,
I
Miles
love
Sanders,
the
he's
name.
not
I
hurt.
love
and
the
he's
name
horrible.
Honey Mostert, by the way.
No.
Oh, did someone change their name?
Tom is.
Tom's Honey Mostert.
So he's
I just love
Sanders is
that.
out then.
Sorry.
Is that what you said?
Somebody was questionable earlier. No, I don't know. I reading his note now to be sure. Yeah, I mean he popped up for 14. So I mean I like Miles Sanders. We got to come up with 3 out of those people. So
That's some good running.
So Carson's out, so it can't be him. I would definitely say Jay Taylor. I think Mostert. Let me check his note. I'm pretty sure he's out again.
I think he is too. So,
I just,
you
he's
have.
on my team.
So, you have-
It's a good chance he doesn't play. He's still nursing.
Honey
it.
Mostert is out.
so Drake Taylor. I don't know.
Not out, but-
Drake Taylor and Mixon. Probably.
yeah,
Taylor?
yeah, you kind of have to almost. The decision's almost made for you, I guess. But I actually think I would go Miles Sanders over Mixon.
Yeah, I would
'Cause he-
too.
he's
But
not
the
hurt.
thing is Sanders. I swear I thought he was questionable on that, but maybe he's not. Maybe he's not now.
He is questionable, but it didn't say anything as far as like
Yeah.
his note that he wasn't practicing or anything like that.
Right.
Sanders is going against San Francisco. though.
I actually think I might go Taylor, Miles Sanders, and Mixon.
Wow.
I just think Mixon has a good matchup in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I would play Mixon. He's due, you know. As far as his talent,
Yeah, if
I've
you look
had-
at the law of averages.
I had him last year though, and he was due up until like the 9th week.
True.
Yeah.
And then he had a bye. And then so
Yeah.
the 11th week he was right on. Yeah. So
Somebody needs to renegotiate their terms.
Yeah.
so William Hanby says, do I accept this trade?
I remember I had Mixon when he was a rookie.
I send Devontae Adams for Chris Carson and Devontae Parker.
Heck no. Don't ever trade Devontae Adams.
Wouldn't do that.
I would. I know you got the shirt on.
Wait, my best running backs are
Are
Mixon
Mixon and
and
Kelly.
Kelly. Why, who's Kelly? Why is that not ringing a bell?
Joshua Kelly.
He says, I'm the Saquon guy, he says. Okay.
That sucks for Saquon.
I
Dog.
know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know
So he
who, I
wants
don't know
to
who
be-
Kelly is.
Yeah, who is Kelly?
What team? What team
Yeah.
is Kelly on?
Let's see. Running back with Kelly. Oh, he's Joshua Kelly with the Chargers. Had 43 attempts, 167 yards, 1 TD. Yeah, he's pretty.
Why don't I see him in like? I'm trying to look at him in like the player list.
I didn't say that, but I need.
He may not-
Joshua. Oh yeah, I don't know why he didn't. Oh, I didn't spell Kelly right. I thought I did. I left that second E out.
Yeah, the EY.
Okay. So decent. He lost the touches, but he kind of ran for a lot of yards. So hold on. So let's see. So he's really trying to improve that running back by getting Chris Carson. I don't know. I mean, do we know how long Chris? I think Chris Carson's only supposed to be for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would ride out Adams, but maybe that's why he's trying to trade now, is because
Maybe, yeah.
he knows he can get a hurt guy from him.
Yeah, doesn't hurt him to the
Also
end of
have
the season.
Ridley and McLaurin. So his receivers are good. And he'd still be getting Devontae Parker. That's so tough. I think Adams is going to end up at least top 3 wide receivers in the league.
I hope so.
And Chris Carson is good but hurt. And then Devontae Parker is good but has a really bad team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're dying at running back each week, I would do that. But that Kelly guy, I mean, I know he got 4 last week. That sucks. And I'm assuming he's in one of these leagues where it's tough to get running backs. But I think people missed on the not picking up Mike Davis. Because what did he get for me? Like 20-something last week? So, I mean, I highly doubt he's out there for you this week. But 22 last week for me.
That's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
But, man, yeah, that's tough. I mean, I understand wanting to get Chris Carson instead of having Kelly. But
Joshua Kelly's not in a bad place if Eckler calms down a little bit.
yeah, and maybe he's more of like the running back than
He is. He's
Eckler will
the
never be
Melvin
the
Gordon
running
of last year. And
Yeah.
Gordon towards the end of the year did pretty good after his suspension. So if
Yeah.
it's
Adams also possibly 2 weeks because of bye. I mean, that's a good point. So I guess you'd be getting Devontae Parker out of that for those 2 weeks. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little biased because I don't think you should trade away Devontae Adams just because I think he's awesome. But
Yeah.
I think if Chris Carson wasn't hurt, even if Devontae Adams wasn't hurt, but I would be more willing to do that trade because it helps his needs more. But I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
he
tough.
says-
I think that's a top 3 running back for like a top 15 or top 3 wide receiver in Devontae Adams for like a top 15 running back.
that's what I'm faced
So
with.
going back and forth on
He's-
this thing like that, it's probably a pretty fair trade.
Adams also possibly.
Yeah, probably pretty fair.
Yeah, and it depends. Like if we're talking, I don't remember this what this guy scenario he gave us from last week if he was here or whatever. But if this is one of those like freaking 15 flex positions, then yeah, getting your needs probably is more important than having Devontae Adams. But like if this is our league, I think I'm riding with a so-so backup running back or a second running back.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have a running back that might get me 15, might get me 4, and let Devontae go get me 35 each week.
Yeah. He says that Adams also possibly 2 weeks because of the bye. I'm faced with that too. In 2 weeks, I play you, Steven, I think. And I got Rodgers on a bye that week and everything. So I'm gonna really be hurting that week. I think I lose.
Week 10 is going to kill me. Week
So
10.
if the guy doesn't have enough bench spots to cover his buys, then yeah, that's not a bad
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah. That's where
That's where
I'm
I'm at,
too.
too.
Full tilt, but I haven't made any trades. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes you don't want to force trades. I mean, I do that in baseball sometimes where I just like my team will have a bad week and I'll just start looking for trades and forcing trades and
Yeah.
try to make my team better when realistically I could have just waited it out a little bit. I mean, maybe you can even wait. Like Tom was just saying, Kelly's in a good spot. If
And then
he
they
can beat
come back.
anything close
Yeah.
to Melvin Gordon, if he's a
Yeah.
12 points fantasy points per game type running back, and you can keep Devontae Adams, then I think you got that figured out.
Yeah.
If Kelly gets
Yeah.
4 points each week like he did last week, then that's not ideal.
Right.
So maybe you stick it out another week. But then again, I don't know if that guy's going to be willing to trade Devontae Adams if he's only a week away or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, then they have the bye. But, yeah, I think I would lean towards no on that.
So before we get too late here, let's just do our picks for next week. I know Scooter, you did not fill out the form. Did you get the form? I sent that in a Google Drive.
Oh,
He
That's all
refuses
right.
to do it.
No worries.
No.
Scooter did not do his homework.
No worries.
I did the pick 'em.
We can do it verbal. Yeah, I know you didn't pick them, but I sent a Google sheet where you could fill out who you picked. But that's okay. We got it. Who? Let's see. This week we got
All right.
Steve and Tom, and I'll tell you who Mark said, and then who I think, and Scooter. So let's go with the picks. Denver at New York Jets. Steven, you go ahead and start us off.
One of them's getting their first
Denver.
victory.
Denver, that's part of my parlay.
And then Tom, you had Denver Broncos,
Yeah.
and Mark actually took the Jets.
It's
That's
Hey,
crazy.
by the way, Mitchell, it looks like it's a Packers and Lions with the bye next week.
Yeah.
And good
So
question.
the buys,
Had me thinking. That was a tough one. I like that.
the buys are already starting. So after week 4, right?
Yeah, after week 4, yes.
All right. Okay.
Mitchell.
All right.
I think I know Mitchell. Mitchell, I think, is Heather Crafter's son. How about that?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Look, she says, wait, I got to come here to see my son. She says that over on Twitch. That's funny.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. I noticed when he pulled up the picture and I saw the granddaughter. I was like, hey, I know them. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's fantastic. All right.
He said, "Hey, mom."
Yeah. Hey, mom. Yep. Hey, mom. There you go. Love it. That's pretty awesome. So, Scooter, who do you say? Jets or Denver?
I'm gonna have to go Denver.
There you go.
over
All
the
right.
Jets.
So, what about the Chargers and the Bucks? Steven, you said
Bucks.
Tampa Bay Bucks along with
I'm not
Tom.
putting any faith in the Chargers anymore.
Yeah.
Lost to the damn Panthers.
And Mark has the Chargers. And Scooter, who do you say?
Bucks.
Heather says, "Oh, I guess I got to go to YouTube, not here." LOL. That's funny. The
But don't you have the
Bucks-
spreadsheet with all of our picks on it?
I do, but Scooter, he did not pick, so I'm asking him.
I picked on the
You have
pick 'em.
yours. Yeah,
I
no,
just
no,
figured you
did on the
could pull.
pick 'em.
I just figured you could pull that up and fill his in as we go. I don't know.
Well, I don't want to fill it in because it's automatic coming from over and all this kind of other kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So anyway, all right.
I'm with you.
So that's why I didn't pull it. And next week, I'll have it all where we can pull it up.
Yeah, as long as Scooter doesn't drop the ball again.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
You know I'll drop the ball.
All right, how about Cleveland at the Dallas Cowboys? Looks like
Cleveland.
I would love for the Cleveland to win that, but
I know.
I hate Cowboys so bad.
Dallas is going to win.
Steven,
You know how hard it is to hate the Cowboys and have their quarterback as your fantasy quarterback.
Ooh, that's tough.
He was the
Well,
best in the Halo Bowl.
I
I
hate
mean,
the Cowboys
he's
too, but I'll
balling out.
trade you.
Yeah, he's balling out for you. So
Heather says Cleveland.
He is
all the
balling. He is
way.
balling out, but I hate Dallas so bad. I can't even stand it.
Heather, Mark Barris said Cleveland Browns. How about that? I know what Scooter's going to say. He's going to say the Dallas Cowboys. And
Yeah.
then we have Pittsburgh Steelers and the Titans.
Tuesday night football.
that's
At
going to be a COVID delay.
Tennessee.
And nobody wins.
Gonna be a COVID delay.
I'm the
They're
only
They're
one.
not gonna play till Tuesday. It's gonna be Tuesday night football.
It doesn't count for fantasy, even if they play. Sorry, Tom.
I'm taking the Titans because they're at Titans. I think it'll
No,
be
I'm
Pittsburgh's
taking the
first
Steelers.
loss.
I'm
I
gonna
think
say
Tannehill has the game of his life.
Think Tannehill finally throws a touchdown?
What? What do you think? He's like 6 for 7 with 2 touchdowns or something?
No.
Derrick Henry with 75 attempts.
Yeah, he doesn't have to.
I
He
just say remember the Titans. I'm gonna go Steelers.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Old Tannehill's gonna show out. No, I really think Pittsburgh's gonna win that one. All right, Seahawks and Miami Dolphins. Come on, come on! It's Fitzmagic, guys. Come on. Who do you think?
No, I really need the Dolphins to do well because I picked them to win their division, but I just don't think this is one of those games. So
Yeah.
gotta go Seahawks.
Yeah.
The Seahawks.
You saw what they did to Jacksonville last week.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I also think that Jacksonville and Seattle are pretty different in
You
the way
think?
that they're composed and everything. Maybe their quarterback play, receiving core.
The
Yeah.
problem is, I saw what Seattle did to Dallas last week.
Yeah,
That's
true.
the problem. I know what
Yeah.
Miami did, but I also know what Seattle did and what they've
And they did it to the
all year.
Falcons one week. Remember that?
Oh
Scooter?
yeah, Scooter, you remember that?
I sure do.
Oh,
okay.
the Falcons had them beat for 3.5
yeah.
quarters.
There was that game. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just it's like you can't stop him. It's
No.
Names were on. I
It
wanna know
just
these guys.
you
Honestly,
have
you
to get
could
inside of his head.
you could ask a Falcons fan 10 weeks from now and be like, "Do you remember when you guys played?" and just name a team, and they'll be like, "Yeah, the one we were winning at halftime, and then we blew it at the end." I remember that one. Yeah.
Every game.
That
Yeah.
was Seattle,
Yeah.
right?
Dominated the game for 3.5 quarters and lost the game.
What about Vikings Texans, huh?
I think that Deshaun Watson's got a really good matchup this week. He doesn't have an offense.
And you're right, Tom. And it's his time to win.
Yeah.
I mean,
neither one of them.
Law
have
of
a win.
averages. He's gonna get it.
That's part of my parlay as well.
I know.
Texans are gonna
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Love it. Heather says, "What are your picks, Mitch?" That's funny over there on the chat. Okay, so Colts. All everybody's going for the Colts over the Bears. I'm actually taking the Bears. I think they're going to go 4-0.
Got the secret weapon.
Over Phillip
Yeah.
Rivers.
They got Foles. Are you kidding? Yes,
They don't have Mitch
I
Trubisky.
know Trubensky.
You know,
It was funny how we had the Bears beat until Foles came in and just carved us up.
I know. I
Wait,
know,
so
that's
are
what
you
I'm
saying that you guys were up at half and then?
That's unusual.
No,
Yeah, I don't even buy it at this point.
I think it was actually 23-10 in the fourth quarter.
Scooter's just rewatching the same Falcons game every
I
time.
know.
He's just saying the same thing over and over.
What about the New Orleans Saints
I
at
bought a
the
head
Detroit
guard,
Lions?
so when I bang my head against the ceiling with the ball, yeah.
I think you got to go Saints.
Both the same record, 1-2.
Saints, yeah.
Saints
And Michael Thomas, is he coming back? I think he might be coming
I
back.
don't think he is yet. I don't know that though.
They'll be
I don't think they need him. Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I know the Lions just pulled an upset, but they're not good.
I like Heather says, "Duh Bears still suck."
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bears.
I'm picking against the Bears.
Okay.
I wish Trubisky was still starting because that means they would like guarantee lose.
Yeah.
But
But now Nick Foles is in there.
like, I love that they've been starting Trubisky the past 3 years. Gives me
Yeah.
no doubt in my mind
Yeah.
that they will not be a good
Right.
team overall.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah. Now Nick Foles is kind of changing things. So
Well, you don't know. You don't know if it's really changing things or not. It's all facade.
So
well,
the
yeah, it was
Arizona
just that,
Cardinals,
that
are we
one
split
quarter,
on
and it was against an Atlanta defense that wasn't even there. So
In the,
Yeah.
in the second half, they weren't there.
Yeah.
right,
No, their defense doesn't show up the whole game. It's the offense that just shows up one
Yeah,
half.
that's a good
Yeah.
point
Yeah.
right,
for the first. half.
exactly.
So the Arizona, are we split on that one? Because I know a couple of you guys were picking Carolina.
No, I'm
to
the
beat
only
it.
one taking Carolina. I think everybody else is, unless Scooter. It depends on what Scooter says. Arizona Cardinals or the Panthers. Oh yeah, you did say Panthers, didn't you?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
I'm with
that's
you,
good.
Mike.
Cool.
I'm
We'll
with you,
see.
Miguel. Me, amigo.
We'll see what happens though. I don't know. That's going to be a tough.
What did Mark have?
Ooh. I like Captain Squiggles. He just gave all his picks, and then at the end he said, "Obviously the Packers." I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's
Are they Packers fans?
that's Heather's son. Yes.
So she's a Packers fan too?
Oh,
Did I know
wow.
that?
Yes.
I think I did know that.
She's the one that sent you all the little gifts.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't think I knew her as well when she sent those, though, right? Or
Probably
did I?
not. You were probably 14 or whatever, but yeah,
That is so long ago.
I know. Okay, now I'm really thinking. Okay, so Ravens against the Washington football team. Everybody's going Ravens here. I don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
I told y'all that after week 1.
Even if it's the Ravens that showed up on Monday night, they still take this
Lamar can actually throw for 97 yards and beat them.
and
Let's
win
be
this
honest.
game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But the Washington football team is leading their division with a 1-2 record.
Wow.
A 1-2 record. They're
And they're
because of
leading.
well, because of
the,
alphabetically. Because it's
God.
alphabetically. Yeah, football. The football team with an F.
you know,
but
why
they're
did they
the
just call
Cowboys?
themselves the
I'm kidding.
Skins?
I'm
Just,
kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
I was like, why are they ranked number
I'm
1?
throwing people off. They're ranked number 1 because of and I don't know why.
No head-to-head games yet.
No head-to-head games. Conference wins. Yeah, conference wins.
No
over
head-to-head
losses.
games. They were playing multiple people, or
They're
and
they're
and
1-1
we
in
know
the
that they're
conference.
ethnically sensitive.
Everybody else has
Yeah.
2 losses in the conference, and that's why. That's why.
gotcha.
So they're
Okay.
going to win that division, guys. Just look out. I'm just
Mhm.
kidding.
Honestly, they are bad, and they might. You know, like
Yeah.
that division is
Yeah.
real. I don't think the Cowboys are as bad as they've been. I'll
Right.
give them that,
Right.
or at least
Yeah.
as far as their
But
record.
everybody
Oh,
else.
But the rest of those teams, that is
Eagles
a
and
bad
Giants.
division.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Jaguars at the Bengals. They're playing at Cincinnati. Every single one of you, except for Scooter, I don't know, took the Bengals.
Yeah, let's go, Joe.
I took Jaguars just because I think an
Oh.
upset is due.
Yeah, there you go. You don't, and he doesn't want Cincinnati to get their first win.
Wow.
I don't either, but they will.
There you go. All right, let's see here.
They just have more weapons on Cincinnati, and Burrows is actually playing really well. So
He's playing well. He just can't
True.
finish the game.
Very true.
What about the New York Giants, which we just
But
talked about?
Minshew,
Yeah, we did.
but don't forget about Minshew.
No, the Giants lose. I don't even care who they're playing.
And the
They suck.
Rams.
Oh, okay.
Everybody takes the Rams on that one, I think. This is going to be a good one, I think. New England at Kansas City. Everybody's
I think
taking-
Kansas City kicks the crap out of them.
Everybody's
Yeah.
taking Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they win by like 45 and Cam
That would
cries.
be nice.
This could be the Cam towelhead crying game.
Yeah.
Could be.
The interview after where he goes, "Oh man."
It
Yeah.
could be.
It was all the haters that made me feel bad about myself.
So Squiggle says I have 7 Packers on my fantasy team. FYI, tied.
That's
for
a
first
good
in my
fantasy
league.
team. Yeah, that's a good fantasy. Oh wait, what? 7 pack? Okay, let's assume he only does offense. So you got Rodgers.
No. You have to be more diversified in your fantasy.
If he only so maybe he has Rodgers, Adams, Jones, Lazard,
The defense,
the defense,
Oh,
the kicker,
tight end.
right?
oh my
I don't think they
god!
have. I mean, he could have Mercedes Lewis, but I don't think that's relevant enough to have.
It's not a fantasy
Offense and
team.
D, like defensive players as
That's
well.
just your team.
Biggles. True, but he could have like Scantling too.
What do you do on the bye week though?
Lose.
Yeah,
Bad.
You lose that one.
is-
You lose.
That
Yeah.
is true. Yeah, that's tough. All right. Buffalo Bills at the Las Vegas Raiders. Steven?
I hope I picked the Raiders.
I know. Steven and Mark
I
picked the
think I
Raiders.
picked the Raiders.
I got the Bills. This will be a close one.
Oh,
He says Rogers,
Tired of
MVS, Jones,
yeah.
Tanyan,
Oh, he does have a tight end.
Tanyan, Crosby, Alexander,
Tanyan.
and Kirksey.
Oh wow, so he does defensive players as well.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
Defensive.
one
I
of the
love it.
very few leagues.
I
Wait.
love it.
And Jair Alexander is one of the top 3 cornerbacks in the league.
Jair.
Mark my words
Okay.
for the rest of the year.
Fantasy.
Wait a minute. Mark my words. That was an earlier segment.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm a
That's
little
right.
late to that segment, but no, probably not fantasy. I'm talking about
Just-
watching him play
Yeah.
man to man corner.
Gotcha.
And Kirksey just got hurt. I
But
wonder
Kirksey,
how hard. Probably lose.
he's
next
been out
week.
a couple of weeks. He's a good linebacker, though. That was a good pickup. I mean, you lost a better linebacker, but Kirksey's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just got hurt last week and he didn't return. I'm about to check his note
What
because
about
that could hurt.
Eagles and the Niners? Eagles and Niners. Everybody goes Niners. Mark took the Eagles.
Why
That's
did you take the Eagles, Mark?
I
I'd
don't
like
know
to
how-
hear him talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know how you can. Like, I don't know. I don't even like hate the Eagles like I hate some of these other teams, but like I just
5
Man.
49ers that are hurt.
Well, so, I mean, the Eagles and the 49ers are all hurt. Well, the 49ers bench looks a lot better. I mean, Wentz isn't even hurt yet.
49ers
be,
bench
but-
looks better than their starters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Hey,
actually kind of
yeah,
shocked
that's a
at
good
the,
point.
Honey Mostart.
The 49ers with everybody hurt.
Honey Mostart.
Steven talked about this at the very beginning. 49ers with everybody hurt beat the Giants 36-9 handedly with all
Yeah.
these hurt players.
And I don't think the Eagles are like that much better than the Giants. I mean, they're better just because the Giants without Saquon are pretty sad. But I
Yeah.
don't think the Eagles are like
That's
10 steps up from them.
and the sad thing is that's the Sunday night game. Eagles and Niners. So
Dang.
I will have the sound.
I've been
turned
waiting
off
all
on
day
that
for
one.
Sunday night, and then the
Yeah.
that.
All right. Well, our Sunday night's free, so that's cool.
I will-
There you go.
I'll definitely turn the volume down on that one. But Monday actually I think is going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a shootout. I got
We might have a Monday night doubleheader with the Steelers.
True.
the Steelers.
True.
All our teams are playing on Monday night.
Atlanta Falcons and the Green Bay Packers. What do you think there? What do you think, Scooter? You're the only one that doesn't have a Packer listed.
I bet the Falcons get up 28-0. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they'll get 28, and then they will lose on the fourth quarter.
I think it'll be 28-28 in the halftime. That's what I think. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
not.
think they could. I think they can. I think that they could do a shootout, but overall, the being at Green Bay, even though there's no fans in the stands, I believe that their defense will just overwhelm, and
You may be right.
Packers will come out on top.
You may be.
Ye of little faith.
I know.
Honestly, I don't know how a Falcons fan could have faith at this point.
It'd be
Like
tough.
you like that's 3 games.
I've lost faith.
That's 3
I've
games the
lost
Falcons
faith.
have lost when they actually played pretty well. Like I know
Yeah,
they
yeah.
peaked in the
Awful.
fourth corner, but
They were
like
in
for the
every
first
game.
3 quarters, like they and not even in, but they were like handily
Up.
dominating each
Yeah.
of those games. So like you've seen your team play well and lose all 3. So think if they have an off game, it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh, okay. Well,
So then you're saying, so how can they win with an off game? They haven't had an off game yet,
yeah,
and still lost,
and it can only get worse.
and they've
if
still
you're-
lost. So,
yeah.
so at Lambeau Field, not looking good.
All comes down to the defensive secondary.
Yeah.
I mean, every game, really.
Sure.
That's where they're losing games,
Yeah.
is their corners.
Well, special teams too. I mean, I can't believe that we can't even get an extra point.
Well, I think your kicker's hurt now. I don't even know who your kicker is. You probably bring him back.
Koo?
Yeah, he's hurt.
Who's hurt?
He's out this week.
Not Young Ho.
Yeah. What was the old
Young
man
Ho.
that y'all had for like 25 years? Bryant.
No,
Bryant. He's
Young
coming
Ho
back. He's
who?
coming back this week, isn't he?
no wait. Young Ho Koo is our new kicker.
Right.
I know,
not
he's hurt.
is he?
Yeah, he's hurt.
He is.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Shit.
saying. Y'all are calling Matt Bryant right now and be like, "Hey, bud,
Yeah.
I know you're
Hey,
55. I know you're
Hey,
55.
buddy.
Drinking
No, what was the guy that played for 40 years?
Got any
Anderson?
more tread left on that tire?
Morton,
Yeah,
Morton
Anderson.
Morton Anderson.
Morton
Yeah,
Anderson.
he's coming back. He's 67 years old now.
Oh,
Matt
he's
Bryant
all
was
of
with the
famer.
Falcons for
Isn't
at
he?
least 25 years, wasn't he?
I think actually, what's
Oh,
his name
God,
with the Colts? Or
Oh, Mort.
he
Yeah.
went past him as far as the
Yeah.
most kicks and everything
Vinatieri?
else. Yeah, Vinatieri. Yeah,
Mort was
he was
True
he was
blue.
Like, yeah,
See you, Squiggles.
yeah. Good
How's
night,
it going?
Squiggles. Thanks for the entertainment. You bet, man. Invite some friends. Tell everybody to come on out. We'll do better on this. And Scooter, be looking in your email. I sent you an email with the Google sheet where all you have to do is check mark these, so you can check them off on which ones you want to pick or whatever on the Google sheet. And then that way I see
All
all
right.
the results and I see everybody's results, and we'll get all the
okay.
everybody Wednesday night.
Okay.
Every Wednesday
We'll
night.
do
Yes, every Wednesday night. We changed the time
We'll do it.
to a little bit earlier, 8:00 instead of 9, just so we could all
Oh,
get out.
that's
and
good for
yeah,
me.
Yeah, it's better for you and better for really everybody. It's
Yeah.
just kind of so we're not here all night. But guys, thank you.
Okay.
And I may go back to StreamYard and do some other things. I'm thinking on some other ideas on what we can do as far as presenting on screen. So I'll
Yeah.
work on a couple things, try and get that better.
Good.
Yeah, thanks everybody for showing up. There's 5 viewers out
Yeah.
there, it says, and we appreciate who was it? William Hanby had some good questions tonight, and we had Live HD, who we had the week before, right? And then Seth,
Mm-hmm.
who started out with
That's
us.
from he was from the week before as well.
So thanks guys for hanging out with us, just chatting some fantasy football. We appreciate it. You guys can stick around, but I'm going to end the broadcast out there live. And let's see here. Bye all. And then let's see.
All right.